It's no secret.
Whoa, 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 hey, yo. It's just... it's the start of the video. Gang, that's how we're starting the year. Damn.
Comedy is in its worst phase since the Eddie Cantor days. When I saw we had someone as objectively unfunny and bitch-made as
Joe Rogan? What the fuck? When did he start doing comedy? What the fuck? What the fuck? I wanna hear his stand-ups. What the fuck was he saying? Bro, was he telling UFC jokes? Bear jokes.
Joe Rogan become the #1 gatekeeper in comedy, I knew we were fucked. But I had always held out hope for one man to continue to be great. After I've seen every comedian I grew up watching either be exposed for being a creep or dwindle into something unrecognizable and sad, I thought, well, at least we still have Dave Chapelle. But after watching Dave's special, that hope is dead. And here's why.
Bow, 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 bow.
One of the most disappointing parts of this special for me was how Dave decided to handle the whole Riyadh Comedy Festival situation.
Oh, you got you next. He's gonna roast you next. And the whole family. Watch out.
For those of you who don't live on the internet and have no idea what I'm talking about, from September 26th to October 9th, there was a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia created by the Saudi government. And this festival had some of the biggest comedians from the US. People like Joe Coy, Sebastian Maniscalco, Bobby Lee, Chris Tucker for some reason, Kevin Hart, because you know that nigga's gonna take any job.
Me? When was I going call? I'm a funny guy. Why they ain't calling me? That's why it flopped. Bitch ass niggas. They walling.
DraftKings Casinos, combining two things I love: touchdowns and bonus rounds.
But from what I could tell, people were most disappointed in Bill Burr and Dave Chapelle.
It's just a fucking blatant cash grab, and that's all Bill Burr's career has become at this point.
Now, I'm sure some of you are asking, why would anybody...
Listen, I tried listening to Dave Chappelle's jokes, bro. I don't know if this are uncle jokes. I don't know. I don't get them. Is he making jokes in the that happened, like maybe some things that people born like in the millennials can understand, or the 1950 jokes? I don't know. But their shit maybe funny, but I don't know. Their shit is not connecting, bro. I thought niggas were supposed to be making shit that's funny to everyone, gang. I don't know, bro. I'm not saying it's not funny, but I just don't get his jokes, man.
Give a shit about these comedians performing in Saudi Arabia. Well, for one, like I said, this festival was created by the Saudi government. So it's not like these comedians just knew somebody in Saudi Arabia and they were just performing for the citizens of the country. And people have issues with this not only because the Saudi regime is incredibly repressive and people have no freedom of speech and women are treated like dog shit, but also because it's pretty obvious that this whole festival was just a propaganda tool used to make the country look a lot more progressive than it actually is. It's not a coincidence that once these motherfuckers came back, they were all tap dancing and talking about how amazing and Americanized Saudi Arabia actually is.
And then we land, and everybody's just regular. I thought this place was gonna be like really tense. And I'm thinking like, is that a Starbucks next to a Pete's Coffee? Next to a Burger King? Next to a McDonald's? Next to a Pizza Hut? Next to a Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, we need a speed stream in Saudi Arabia, no kill. Cause nigga got rap cap in their raps, you feel me?
Next to a Krispy Kreme, next to a Cheesecake Factory, next to a KFC, next to a Chili's? They got a fucking Chili's over here?
And let me tell you something, I'm loving this country so far. I've been here for about 10 hours. I want to know what I can do to become a Saudi citizen.
Yeah, they definitely got a bomb strapped with that nigga. Talking about, I love this place. It's like heaven. Nigga, fuck no. Why ain't you move then? Move your family there, no. Move your family there, no. Stop lying to us. Saying, oh yeah, he's like the love place of my life. It's like the Garden of Eden. Nigga, fuck out of here. Oh.
You are a bitch.
Also not a coincidence that Tim Dillon got fired for talking about the slaves that they had before he was even at the festival.
I was fired from the Riyadh Comedy Festival. I was defending them for having slaves. I literally said slaves are probably hard workers and for the most part agreeable. But they didn't like that.
What?
And for the most part agreeable. But they...
Let's start with you then. You know, bro, racist. I don't get these niggas, bro. Why don't we start with him? It's agreeable. Big. Bring him over here. Now I got some more you can do, my nigga. I don't want to play. And with my grandfather, I'm gonna use my whip. Cause this nigga tripping. Bro. If it's agreeable, let's start with you then. You know what I mean? Let's see how agreeable it is. You know what I mean? Cause these niggas, bro, I don't even know. These niggas are just getting me wild up, bro. I don't even want to react to these niggas. No cap. My bad, y'all. I'm good with myself.
Didn't like that.
Kind of gives the impression that they want their people to stay in line, shut the fuck up, and talk about what they're allowed to talk about. Also, the Saudi government has done a lot of evil bullshit, especially to Americans. Things like killing an American journalist, Jamal Khashoggi.
After years denying involvement,
Did you order the murder of Jamal Khashoggi?
absolutely not. Now explosive secret documents point the finger of blame directly at a friend of Australia, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
The plan
Oh yeah. I ain't gonna talk about that. Let me keep myself out.
and execution of 9/11. Now, when somebody like Kevin Hart goes to the Riyadh Comedy Festival, nobody's surprised. You know, we all know this motherfucker will do anything for the right price. I mean, this man is damn near a billionaire.
Bug
And he's
chaser.
still doing gambling sponsorships, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like somebody who can turn down a job, you know? But people expected more from Bill Burr and Dave Chapelle, because over the years, they've kind of positioned themselves as like one of the
Nigga, if they throw you a bag right now, like here's a meal, you know, shut the fuck up. You're gonna say no for the community, like Black Power. Nigga, I ain't gonna feed you bitch ass. Yo, get your bag, hey. Corruption's only bad if I'm not involved. Yo, niggas be just yapping, bro. If he got through the bag too, he will also be folding. At this point, he's just yapping. No care.
people,
Yeah.
you know? Bill's been doing a lot of
They give you 5 mil. Something you'll never make even in this fucking channel. Man, shit. I'ma even say I'ma turn you into God forgive me. I'ma turn you into a pastor. I'ma convince you to go there.
speaking out
My
against
flow.
billionaires
Follow
and shit.
There's nothing wrong with being a billionaire, but if somebody is working 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month, and they can't make their rent, you're not paying them enough money. Maybe you should just be worth 900 million.
And Dave, just I think throughout his comedy, has always seemed like he's on our side. Because I've noticed that for a while now, people have seen Dave as more than just an entertainer. I mean, remember, this is the guy who walked away from $50 million because he didn't like how his art was being perceived by the company he was working for. I'm not turning away $50 million for shit. I'll tell you that right now. So when they saw him take blood money from a dictator, people were shocked. But to give Dave credit, he did handle things, in my opinion, way better than Bill Burr did, who just got really passive-aggressive and just kind of blamed everything on bots for some reason.
It's not going so good in my neck of the woods. I'll tell you that. The sanctimonious is sanctimonian. Keyword on the monian. Oh, Jesus. All right, here's the deal. You guys asked me, obviously, a ton of questions about the absolute controversy, right? Here's the deal. I have no problem answering any of them. The problem I have is after I answer them, it all gets clipped. And then once it gets clipped, then the lies start getting told, or they start shaping it and making it this and making it that. So all I'm doing is just throwing another log on the fire, and then they can make more money. No, I'm sorry. Well, no, because they care so much. That's right. Sorry, not because they're just making money.
But I still think Dave handled things
But I feel like, yo, you gotta understand that that's a nigga with connections. If you want to disappear, you can disappear, man. Yo, hey, sometimes you just gotta play your part, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, you gotta realize. Imagine someone with power is like, yo, you gotta do this and this for me, nigga. Just do the calculations. Like, oh, fuck all that. I'm saying, my people, bro, you wanna be the next MLK? Just take the money, gang, and be safe, gang.
poorly, so let's see what he actually said.
I've been getting a lot of grief, again, because I did a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia. Boy, I gotta tell you something. I've never not felt guilty about something like I don't feel guilty at all. These motherfuckers act like because I did a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia, I somehow betrayed my principles. They said, well, Saudi Arabia killed a journalist. And rest in peace, Jamal Khashoggi. I'm sorry that he got murdered in such a heinous fashion. And I was like, period. And also, Israel's killed 240 journalists in the last 3 months. So I didn't know y'all was still counting.
Yeah, just total bullshit and whataboutisms. Why are you mad at me from taking blood money from a regime that killed an American journalist when Israel's killed hundreds of journalists? Now, if Dave was just talking to a bunch of sociopaths who see nothing wrong with what's going on in Palestine, he would kind of have a point, but I'm 100% sure that there's plenty of people who are very pro-Palestine who also have huge issues with him taking money from Saudi Arabia. And yes, that includes black people too. I know he was like, see everybody cheering, that's black people.
Because I did a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia. And you hear those cheers? That's black people.
Nigga, stop. There's plenty of black people that wouldn't want you to be taking fucking money from the people that did 9/11. Also, it's not like these dictators are great to black people either, but we'll get into that a little later in the video. And I can't believe these people actually clap for him like he really said some shit. Two things can be wrong at the same time, you know? You think if I got caught stealing from my mom's purse and I look at her and I say, sure, everybody's mad at me for stealing hundreds of dollars from you, but what about how much money Donald Trump has stolen from the American people? You know, he was almost bankrupt before he was president, and he's made billions only a year in office. You think she's gonna give me a standing ovation, or do you think I'm gonna get punched in the mouth?
I'll get a whooping.
Yeah, me too. Why? Because she's a bad parent. But also because what Trump is doing, although it is wrong, it has nothing to do with me stealing from her. That's why I'm saying Dave's whole point was just a distraction to get some cheap cheers from people who weren't really listening to what he was actually saying. And not only did he try to skate by with some bullshit, but he didn't even address like the other 10 reasons of why people are pissed about him going to Saudi Arabia. It wasn't just about Jamal Khashoggi, although that probably should be reason enough. And I think he didn't address these things either because he's so out of touch that he doesn't even know why people are mad, or because he knew that he didn't have a defense for taking.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna say it again. Can't say no to everyone, bro. Especially if a regular nigga. They will have caught his ass. You know what I mean? Ask yourself, why did he turn 50 and then he got blood money? Do you think it's like, blood money? My man's. Some people, you can't take that. They're like, oh, bad. Tell it. Yo, you feel me? Hey, you got a deal and make sure you add Chapelle in that deal. You feel me? That nigga piss me off. Like, bro, you don't, there's some, yo.
Taking money from the people who did 9/11. Like, what do you say to that? Honestly, I think the only thing he could have done was just be like, look, I'm not as good of a person as you guys think I am, so I took the $6 million because it's $6 million. I would have respected that way more. And then to make things even worse, he uses this whole Riyadh situation as a setup to talk about how he went to another festival a couple months before this one in the UAE.
I love working in the Middle East. That's my second show I did over there. I did a show 3 months before that. I was in Abu Dhabi. Them niggas had a comedy festival too.
Now, I've always seen Dave as pro-black. I've always seen him as Mr. Africa. I mean, look at the man's logo. So somebody explain to me why the f he's on stage bragging about taking blood money from a regime that is currently funding a
You gotta flex on you. They paid him good. You feel me? Hey.
genocide in Sudan.
Why is the United Arab Emirates backing a genocidal militia? Satellite images and UN reports show the UAE is arming a paramilitary group, which is trying to take over Sudan by force.
You thought black...
My nigga. So you think you're gonna, you know what I mean? I protested. They're just gonna find another comedian, bro. It doesn't matter. You think they give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. They're just gonna find another person. There's nothing you can do at that point. Like, come on, bro. Some things are just out of your control. Some things are out of your control. There's nothing you can do.
People were going to be cheering this on. Why? Because we don't fucking know any better? You see what I mean? Like, this is not a man who really gives a shit. Not only did you not address most of the criticisms people had of you going to this festival, but you then brag about the millions you made from it, then talk about another job that's arguably worse, play the fucking victim, and then say Israel is bad and wave your hand in the air like you fucking said something. You know what I mean? It's like... No.
Bow, 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 bow.
Now, the Riyadh stuff was bad,
Oh,
but I
wait,
don't
that
think it
needy?
ruined the entire special. It was only a couple minutes. What made this whole thing so unappealing to me was just how out of touch Dave has become with the everyday person. I mean, throughout this hour and 15 minutes, I just felt like I was watching a wealthy white man just talk about how awesome his life is.
Damn, y'all calling Dave Chapelle Uncle Tom? Damn. But bro, black people gotta chill out, bro. They gotta chill out. There's nothing you can do. Okay, he protesting. You're gonna feed his family. You're gonna pay his how do you call property taxes? Say less. If y'all gonna contribute and shit, like bad. Okay, he protest and the fuck is gonna do? Is it gonna change? They'll be like, oh no, David Chapelle, we're gonna go viral. There's nothing that's happening, bro. Some things you just gotta use your fucking head, bro. If it's like mass that are protesting, okay, y'all got power. But one person, what the fuck is gonna do?
Literally, the first joke he makes is a story he tells about.
You also wanna keep politics? You wanna keep politics from your job, bro. That's his job. If he starts protesting, gonna protest, and some people will be like, yo, just come do your job. Maybe some people just wanted to do jokes. You know what I mean? Some things are not that deep. You feel me? Maybe the other one had a reason, but this one maybe was just called to do jokes. And it's like, yo, man, I just want to do jokes. Get paid. The money maybe was good. Like, alright. Shit.
Buying up all the housing in his white liberal neighborhood.
The town that I've been living in for the last 25 years, I bought most of it.
He bought so much of the houses in his neighborhood that people in the town were coming up to him and asking him about what he was going to do about affordable housing. And he basically tells them to go fuck themselves.
I be walking down the street minding my own business.
Bro, what the fuck? He's been opening up his own hood?
And they come up to me with their concerns. Dave, congratulations on buying the whole goddamn town. But you need to start thinking about some affordable housing around here. Well, actually, champ, I can afford my house. That sounds like some shit you need to worry about.
Obviously, joke about whatever you want. I'm not even saying it was a terrible joke. But as I'm watching it, I'm thinking of all of the things to make fun of white people for in 2025. You choose affordable housing when wealth disparities are at an all-time high. People are losing their health care and their food stamps and shit. It's like now you want to get on stage and brag about you buying up all the houses from the cool white people too. Like earlier in the joke, he talks about living in a really red state, but he lives with the
Nigga, it's not that deep. Come on, get over that nigga bone.
cool white people.
Ohio loves Trump, but this town I live in is like a little itty-bitty Bernie Sanders Island in the Trump seat.
And then he brags about taking the housing from the only cool white people in the fucking state. And I'm just like, well, that kind of makes you an asshole, doesn't it? like I'm on their side. Never did I think I would take the side of Ohio whites over Dave Chapelle, but here I am. Hate to give FD credit, but when he's talking about black capitalism not working, I think this is the type of shit he's talking about. Because Dave Chapelle buying up all of Ohio does nothing for you and me. And if that wasn't enough, a few minutes later,
What you gonna do, weather boy? We're gonna stop him?
this dude basically starts defending Diddy.
Savage!
Yeah, that one.
I was on stage not long ago in the States and niggas got mad because I said, well, you know, maybe Puff will get off. And I said, I hope so. And the crowd was like, boo. Okay, look, it's not that I think Puff is right, but...
Oh, that's your lover? That's your bestie? Your lover, my lover. She didn't even know what to tell. That's my lover, my for life, gang. They're locked in shit. But if your friend is in the wrong, you gotta call them out like, nah, nigga, you wrong. But this nigga just wanna stay silent. I know that nigga gonna get out, so they don't wanna fuck up the connection. But still, bro, you're my nigga, you do wrong. Yeah, nigga. Nah, you did wrong. You feel me? You did wrong.
When I got attacked in LA at the Hollywood Bowl, people forget Puff was the guy that tackled my attacker.
But again, I'm not trying to be the joke police. I know it doesn't seem like it since I'm making a whole last video and shit. I just thought this was another interesting display of how Dave Chappelle's perspective is totally different from the average person right now. Most people's relationship with Diddy, especially over this past month or so, was watching that 50 Cent documentary and just seeing how much of a...
Yeah, what does the 50 Cent documentary? I watched that shit. First, take the I watched the first episode. I didn't finish, but I got locked in. Finished that whole no kill.
Sociopathic piece of shit this man is.
He came and got me with a gun. We came up to Cuddy's house to kill him. He's inside the house. I don't know what's going on. Cassie, what the fuck is going on? What happened?
But for Dave, Diddy was basically a friend. Hung out with the dude who went to his house. According to Dave, he even saved his life.
I probably listen. If that nigga is like doing some crazy shit, he gonna do that crazy shit to you if roles were switched. You feel me?
And that's really my point with this video. Dave Chapelle, like many comedians and famous people before him, has become so successful that he is now totally out of touch with the audience that got him to this level of success. And if I'm being honest, this is something I've felt for years now. I still remember during COVID when fat people
He lost his horse.
and grandmas were dying left and right. This motherfucker gets on stage not to joke around and make people feel better during a messed up time, but to nag people into boycotting the Chapelle show because now all of a sudden he doesn't like the contract that he signed 20 years ago. And it hurt his feelings that Netflix was gonna buy the rights from Comedy Central.
I'm begging you, please don't watch that show. I'm not asking you to boycott any network. Boycott me. Boycott Chappelle Show. Do not watch it unless they pay me.
When I saw this, I was like, bitch, who gives a fuck? Don't you see that there is a worldwide pandemic going on? You just signed a $60 million deal with Netflix for specials that you already recorded. And you're over here bitching about money from 2003? Shut the fuck up.
Hey, it still is work, bro. Hey, it still is work. You feel me? Money's money. If you can get paid, yo, don't play your money. You niggas talking about, hey, yo, don't play. If you can get paid about your work, it's your work, bro. Like, come on, bro.
But of course people had his back. It's Dave Chapelle, one of the greatest comedians of all time. He's our guy. So people boycotted the show and Dave got what he wanted. In preparation for this video, I went back and watched my favorite comedy special of all time, Killing Him Softly. I didn't even know at the time that they were both filmed
Yeah, watch his comedy. I don't know if he's great, but if you can type in.
in DC. And honestly, that's about where the similarities end for me. In Killing Him Softly, Dave is a lot more self-deprecating. He doesn't take himself as seriously. And obviously, there's no Diddy defense. But I think the biggest difference for me was that as I was watching Killing Him Softly, I saw
Dave took your girl or something? This nigga sounds so just a motherfucker. No kill.
Dave talk about issues that regular black people and regular people overall could relate to. He talked about the issues we go through, like the mistreatment of black people by the police.
Honey, did you see this? Apparently the police have been beating up Negroes like hotcakes.
And how other acts of racism and oppression affect people on a daily basis. It was things like this that made Dave feel like he was one of us. He was on our side. And I think that's why people had his back when he asked them to boycott that show. We all know what it feels like to be...
So it was like, he's like the MLK for our generation. You feel me? He's like the Martin Luther King. You feel me? Okay, I get it.
Over. Even though this dude's rich and successful, I think a lot of us saw ourselves in Dave. To me, that's what entertainment has always been about. I mean, technically, I am in this field at
You saw yourself in Dave? Pause.
A much lower level, but I realized that nobody really gives a fuck about you. It's always about how are you making people feel, you know? And I think that's good. I think that's kind of your job. I mean, if you're not going to be actually building shit or doing anything or feeding people, doing things that people can tangibly enjoy, the least you could do is like give them a perspective that changes their mind or make them feel like they're not fucking crazy and making people feel heard and seen and things like that. Like, I think that's helpful in society, you know what I mean? But if you're just like on stage bragging about how awesome you are, it's like, what are you really contributing? Especially if you're not making people laugh. I always found stand-up to be
but he does make people laugh. What the fuck is he talking?
Usually a self-deprecating art form. It doesn't always have to be, but I think if you're not going to be relating to people, or if you are going to be like the cocky dude, I think you have to be funny as fuck. And if you're not, it just doesn't really work. Because nobody wants to watch somebody talk about how awesome they are for an hour and a half. Especially when they're suffering. It's like, okay, great, nigga. Like, what are you gonna do?
This nigga salty as motherfucker. But it's not that deep. This walk niggas gotta stop in 2026. Big 26, yeah, niggas gotta chill. These niggas are woke everything. Yeah, just calling everything out. Yeah, niggas gotta chill. Damn.
For me, you know? But I don't know. This special just reminded me of why people had his back during the whole boycott situation. But now when Dave talks about racism, his example is that the town that he owns most of sold the firehouse after they knew Dave was going to be out of town, so he couldn't also buy the firehouse.
And then, you know what they did? This is some real racist shit. They tried to sell the old fire station at an auction when they knew I was going to be out of town.
And the punchline is that he bought it anyway. And he has people like Mick Jagger come and perform.
I bought the firehouse. I turned that motherfucker into a comedy and music club. I seen Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones at a party. I said, yo, Mick. I said, Mick, you got to come to Ohio and play my club.
And as I'm watching this as a young black African-American Negro, I'm just like, who is this for? Because it's not for me. I don't give a fuck about Mick Jagger playing at your firehouse club. That.
What was you watching then, nigga? Bro, mind your goddamn business. What was you watching? Bro.
I'm not invited to. And if the jokes were really funny, I wouldn't give a shit, but they weren't to me. I know I've been talking a lot of shit throughout this video, but I
self-acknowledgement, bro. I'm glad, bro, because he was this. I'm like, nigga, damn. This nigga just walked up like type of negativity.
I don't want to take anything away from Dave Chapelle, because even though this special was definitely not my favorite,
full of negativity,
you could still see how great of a performer and how great of a writer he was, especially in the second half. Like when he got into that Jock Johnson story, that was brilliant storytelling, like from beginning to end. Minus the Diddy tie-in, didn't love that. Dave Chapelle at his worst is still better than most people at their absolute best. It just sucks that he is now a rich asshole with a personality that seems to kind of suck.
Yeah, I kind of hate like when people go mainstream and then they lose their hunger and their quality, bro. That shit just pissed me off. From artists to like, bro, they gotta keep that shit like slavery. I don't know, bro. Gotta keep that shit locked in. Like, nigga perform, you still got, you feel me? Because they gotta test out that money and then they start producing bullshit artists.
He's very human. And that's really my point in making this video. I know I'm talking to you guys, obviously, but I'm really talking to my younger self here. I was the kid who was watching stand-up constantly and idolizing these people. I bet you there's already dozens of people who wrote, bro, you remind me of Dave Chapelle. That's because I would watch him and...
Well, nigga, what? Who told you that? Boy, that lies in that motherfucker. Like, bro, lying is a sin. Now y'all need to repent. What the fuck? Who said it? Who is these things? We need to find these things. Boy, what?
So
y'all next to wishes.
Consciously copy his mannerisms like a fucking weirdo. I've been listening to
no fucking one joke, nigga. What the fuck
these people and taking what they're saying to heart as if they're philosopher kings or something. But they're not. They're entertainers. And honestly, I'm starting to think that this Riyadh Comedy Festival was kind of a good thing. Not because I suddenly think it's a good idea to do propaganda for a regime that kills gay people, did 9/11, and has slaves, but because I think this entire situation, especially how they decided to handle it, actually opened our eyes to what these celebrities actually are. They're just regular ass people. Honestly, they're usually worse than regular people. They're usually kind of fucked up. A lot of them are drug addicts, alcoholics, especially stand-up comedians. Most of them are
Nigga, I was at an event, bro, especially TikTokers, but there are niggas who like, bro, they don't even have talent, bro, and they feel like they're celebrities. There are girls who like, alright, they're pretty, but we see pretty people every day, and they think they're literally celebrities, bro. They think like Michael Jackson. Bro, you can't even touch them, nigga. Some of you need to get out of your motherfucking box, nigga. Like, bro, if you're talent, if you're not a singer, if you don't do something that can be found outside here, bro, you're not fucking celebrity. Don't like tone that shit down. You're regular, just like the rest of us. Like, tone that shit down. That shit maybe work on them regular ass niggas, but if you got your shit going on, that shit don't work. Especially like, bro, be humble now, bro. People have lost their goddamn mind.
Pressed as hell. It's like, these aren't people you should be learning your moral values from. These aren't people you should be expecting anything from except to laugh. And a lot of these motherfuckers can't even do that right. If I could talk to my younger self, I would say, take a shower and get a lineup. You look fucking ridiculous. But after that,
what kind of joke is that? What the fuck is this nigga talking about? You get on my screen,
I
bro.
would say watch these people's comedy.
What the fuck
Enjoy
was
the
that?
specials. Support them at their
You
shows.
just made my
Buy
day
the
that
merch if
poor.
you
What the
can.
fuck is he
But
talking about?
stop
What was that?
fucking deifying these people. Expecting these people to live up to your moral standard is going to leave you with nothing but disappointment. Not because you're asking for something wrong, but because of who you're asking. These people get on stage and talk about how fucked up and broken they are every single day, and then we're gonna be surprised when they do bullshit. I think we're smarter than that. As a culture, as a society, we're better than that. And I hope someday in the near future, we'll learn from our mistakes and treat these entertainers as people. Not someone to idolize, not somebody you need to go up and take a picture with because you saw them at a Best Buy. Just a person who takes a shit and makes mistakes. Thank you to everybody who made it to the
Bro, I don't know what the fuck this thing really is, bro. Yeah, walk niggas here need to chill out, bro. Some shit are not that deep, nigga. Feel me? Feel like that nigga fucked his girl or something, I don't know.